Welcome back, loyal listeners, to Into the Riot. During this international break, this is your podcast for everything RSL to help you and your friends keep up with your fast-moving club, Real Salt Lake. Today, we're going to be chatting about the Monarchs dominating again, Emeka Eneli's injury, and Kevin, why in the world are we loaning our players to other MLS clubs? At least send them across seas. Just send them across seas. We're also going to break down the top performers for Real Salt Lake so far this young season, roster depth, and even a look ahead to our takes to the World Cup. Plus, we'll look back on the club's wild history from rocky starts to championship glory. This is our international break edition of Into the Riot. Let's get into it, Kevin.
Let's riot.
All right, again, back with you. Let's go through some club news, Kevin. Let's start with the Monarchs a little bit. RSL these days doesn't really seem like they're the only ones who have a little momentum going.
No.
The Real Monarchs had a pretty impressive win against Sporting Kansas City 2. 5-0 win over those guys. Kevin, how important are the Monarchs to this club, to the Real Salt Lake?
Well, I think it's huge. I mean, we've kind of talked about it the whole season so far. Just our young players from the academy coming up and putting in the work this year. So yeah, I think it's a big thing to see our younger teams, the Monarchs and even below, be successful. It helps our team that much more.
For sure. How many guys do we have right now up with the first team? Is it like 4 or 5, or is it more?
Geez, it might. I think it's, as far as I know, it's 5. It might be more though.
Yeah. Should more of these players for the Monarchs be getting more first team minutes right now?
You know, I don't know. It's hard because I think it's important to have the time with the Monarchs, just to kind of to hone in the skills and stuff. But I mean, if there are players that are ready, I mean, I think they should, especially when we need, rest or whatever for other players. I think they should be able to have that time.
Yeah, my personal answer to this question would be they already are. I mean, we've got a 17-year-old, 2 18-year-olds, 19-year-old. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess my last question is, RSL actually building one of the best development pipelines in the MLS?
I was thinking about this, and I was kind of looking up some things. And in the U.S. Soccer Collective, and this was back in, well, not that it was that far ago, but 2023, they were the 7th best in the MLS. They're just widely recognized as a homegrown factory, producing top level prospects for the MLS Next Pro. Also, like the U16 team achieved a historic feat, winning both the GA Cup and the MLS Next Cup last year. So I don't know. I think we're one of the biggest.
Well, I'll just answer it this way. Yes. I think you have to put them, if they're not the best, they're in the top 3, for the fact that they were the pioneer for this whole program.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, they didn't always have the RSL Academy here. Where is it? Harriman, Utah.
Yep.
It was first placed in Arizona.
Yeah.
Where they had the academy and they were developing these players. So I'm going to say yes. I think they are the best development pipeline in the MLS because they were the first.
Yeah.
I think they have to be.
Yeah, and you know, another thing I didn't know about this, but the place in Harriman that they have built, it houses over 50 players in a residential program. I really didn't even know that, but that's a lot of players.
Well, they also have a full-time school that they go to too.
Right. Yeah. No, I think that's awesome. I mean, I know more and more of clubs have picked that up and they're doing that, and I think it's important for soccer in America.
Yeah, the development for players in America for sure. Let's talk about Emeka Eneli for a minute. Just got word a few days ago that he's out after knee surgery. He had a successful arthroscopic knee surgery. He had a knee debridement, a procedure to address a patella condition he's had ever since the beginning of the year. I'm not sure where he aggravated this. But it's been an issue for him since beginning the season. His timeline to return to play, it kind of determines on his response to the rehab. If any of our listening audience doesn't know anything about this guy is a big time player for this team. I think he's 22.
Yeah, 22 or 23. Yeah.
He came to Salt Lake through the 2023 MLS Super Draft out of Cornell University. He's made 68 appearances for Real Salt Lake. He's earned 2 starts, 2 caps with the U.S. national team. He was named the RSL's club most valuable player in 2024 by his own locker room, which to be voted to the most valuable player by your own peers, huge.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
a huge thing. And he has become the youngest player to wear the captain's armband in RSL's 22-year history.
That's awesome.
Is this a really big loss for RSL?
You know, probably at the beginning of the season, I would have said yes. And it is a big loss, but I think you see what we've been able to do with the players that have come in and played for him, and it's been amazing because we haven't really lost a step. So I don't know if it's the biggest loss, but it hurts because yes, he was he's been a key factor for us in especially last season. So
Yeah, a lot of the players and a lot of the articles I've read about him is a lot of the players around the league say he's one of the most active midfielders, most consistent midfielders in the league. So my next question was going to be, can you replace Eneli's work rate? I would answer that yes. We already have.
yeah,
We've got some super subs, and I'm going to call him that because I think Eneli's he's not gonna sit the bench. He's not going to be the guy that comes in late in games to help him finish off matches. I really think he's going to work back into the starting 11,
yeah.
and I think he'll solidify that his spot. But we can talk about some of the guys that have stepped up in his absence. That who knows if they would have been known or been seen otherwise. Go ahead and talk about some of these players.
Well, I think probably the biggest one, and I don't think people are still really talking about him, but is Caliscan. We talked about it before, but he's kind of been our silent killer. He's been a part of a lot of key plays in our season so far, and I think if anything, he's put in the same as Eneli's work rate, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think he's been imagine him and Emeka in there
Oh, yeah.
together.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, well, does this create a roster problem? Does this cause a problem of who's going to start, who's going to sit? Is it going to be an issue with pride from individual player to player? Does this create a problem?
Yeah, I mean, it does, but I think we've said it before. I think it's a good problem. And yes, you probably game to game, you probably are wondering who's going to start. But I think for Mastroeni, it's a good thing because maybe one of these players has a better skill in whatever for Miami or for this team or for that team, and I think he's able to play around with that a little bit. And I think that's a good problem.
Yeah, it's all about matchups. If you can keep everybody happy, I worry about that a little bit. I think with some of the younger players, I think they'll understand it more than some of the older players.
Yeah.
But you really, I was looking at the roster getting ready for this episode, and RSL they've got Kaskin, who's played every minute.
Yeah.
Spearings has come on of late. He scored the stunner in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Pablo Ruiz, he's been a consistent player for RSL for the last at least 5 years.
Yeah.
Griffin Dillon, up from the Monarchs, Luka Moisa. They have 13 midfielders on this roster. I mean, to go forward with that, they have 8 forwards minus Pule now, and they have 12 defenders. I mean, a lot of mouths to feed there. A lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah, but I think, Pablo said it before in one of his interviews. All these players, they're just happy for each one of them whenever they get the chance to play, and they all go in and they step up when they're called upon. And I think if they can all keep that up and know that they're all going to get some time and they're all going to be used at certain points of the season, I think, man, we really will have a squad that's really something special.
Yeah. If we can keep consistently with earning points in each match, I think that problem's not going to be a problem.
Right.
I worry about, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen this season. I worry about maybe if we string 2 to 4 to 5 losses together. I can't foresee that. This group of guys, I can't see I can't really even see 3 losses in a row.
Yeah, it is hard
with
to see.
These guys because of the resiliency they've shown so far this season. I can't see that, but it could happen because soccer is such a funny sport.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see moving on forward from here. Let's move on to the loan that has just taken place. Marco Zambrano. He's a forward for the RSL. They just loaned him to the New England Revolution. The loan is for New England Revolution. They acquire Zambrano on loan from Real Salt Lake through December 31st, 2026. I did not know the details of this, and I was thinking, why in the world are we loaning players? This is like the second player in 2 seasons that we've loaned to neighboring teams in the MLS. But I think I kind of like this deal, and I'm going to see what you think about this. But in exchange for New England's 3rd round selection for this upcoming 2027 MLS Super Draft, for Zambrano, he goes to New England, and we get their 3rd round selection in the Super Draft. I think that's, I don't know. I kind of like that part of it. And then for New England, they have the option to permanently acquire Zambrano and retain the right to terminate the loan at the open of the secondary transfer window on July 13th. Do you think it's a good deal?
I do, because I think that our scouts did such a good job in this last super draft that I like the fact that we have another pick. But at the same time, Zambrano has been red hot for the Monarchs this season, and it's hard to see. I mean, could we lose this talent? I mean, because if he does good for the Revolution, then they acquire him, and then he could be playing against us.
Yeah, for sure. I was digging deeper into this and seeing kind of the depth that we have for the forward position on this team, and it's fairly deep.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 8 real guys that are gonna probably see time, but Chance Cowell, I can't even remember where he's from. I thought he came from, was it Portland or Seattle?
I'm not sure.
But he's been playing well, and he's only 17 years old. And we got another 17-year-old, I think, from one of those 2 clubs also. I think Van Parker is from Portland. But I guess the only other thing that makes me feel better about this whole transaction is that Zambrano is not really one of our developmental players. He's not one of the homegrowns. We've got him from Philadelphia, and so I don't know. I mean, I like that we're getting something for the player, no matter what.
Right.
No matter if New England's happy with him or not. I can't imagine them not if he continues to develop with the Revolution. But yeah, I kind of looked into it a little further, and it's like, oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I says, I think our scouts just when I heard all the drafts that they got this last season, this last super draft, I was like, I don't follow college soccer that well, but I had no idea who any of these players were, but then you see them playing right now, and it's like, okay, it's just amazing what these scouts can do and see. But just to talk to about these homegrowns, and I was gonna say it when we were talking about Emeka Eneli, but he came from the Columbus Crew Academy. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah.
No.
I kind of was digging a little bit and I saw that, and I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is cool.
But talking about all these players, let's do a little bit of a squad evaluation for up to this point of the season.
All right.
I guess you can go first. Who are your top 5 players this season?
My top 5 players this season. Well, if we start in the back, I'm going to take Cabral. Cabral has been a leader, to say the least, for this team. Obviously they picked him as captain for probably multiple reasons. One being the most decorated and most veteran player on the team.
Yeah.
He's played through the season, and his average match play is a 7 match rating. And I think he's been solid when he's needed to be, and he's been a guiding a hand for the young players on this team also.
Oh, yeah.
If I was going to pick 2 defenders / midfielder, I guess. Man, I mean, the numbers don't lie. Philip Quinton, He has a 7.3 match rating through 5 games or the 4 games that he's played, and he's really played quite well. He's two assists on the young season so far, and I think he's silenced a lot of the critics. That's including myself. We talked about it, and maybe even you.
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing. Engel's been solid, but if we're gonna link Juan Manuel Sanabria, I think you have to give it to him if we're gonna add him in as a defender. And I guess the same thing with the Gozo. I mean, he plays the same position on the other side of the field as Sanabria. But Sanabria, he's got a 7.6 match rating through 5 games, and has just been. Oh, he probably has 2 assists on the season too.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think his play and connection with Gilovagi has been just, I don't know, absolutely really amazing to watch. I mean, it develops right in front of your eyes.
Oh yeah.
They work so well together. You have to add Xavier Gozo, I think, in this list, and Morgan Gilovagi. Those players, I think. I mean, I can't not have Kalaskan name not be mentioned in this whole thing, because I think those players that I've mentioned, in my opinion, have been the glue that has kept this team as solid as it has been.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
But those are my players that I think that have had a huge impact on this season.
Yeah, for sure. And so we're probably going to have a few that are the same.
I'm sure. I mean, you kind of made the mistake of having me go first, but
right.
your fault, not mine.
Yep. But yeah, I have Rafa as my number one. I mean, yeah, like you said, 7.1 average rating. He had the 8 saves in the season opener. Yeah, he's just been a wall. I mean, he's just been crazy good. So, but then I do have Juan Manuel Sanabria too. Sanabria, sorry. But yeah, I mean, against a tough San Diego team, his performance rating on that game was 8.0. So he's really shown what he can bring for this team. I have also Xavier Gozo, playing this new hybrid position. He's really impressed me with how versatile he's been able to be. Then I have Aiden Hezarkhani. He did kind of his average rating got skewed a little bit with that the opener in Vancouver, but he did have a 8.0 against the Seattle Sounders. So he's proved he's leading with the goals with 2 right alongside Salone. So it's been fun to watch. And then my last one, I actually have Gilavogi. His average rating is a 7.73. He got an 8.2 twice, one versus Atlanta and the other one with San Diego. And his passing has just been immaculate. It's just fun to watch every week to see what kind of what kind of hookup he's gonna have. It's been really fun to watch him pass the ball.
Yeah, it's like someone picks the ball up from his feet and places it at another player's feet. That's how soft it is.
Oh yeah, it's been crazy. So, Mike, do you think we're overhyping certain players just because of their expectations?
I kind of felt like that I was early on. I mean, it's almost kind of like playing a video game. It's like, oh yeah, this guy, his rating is a 9.1. He's so good and just gonna blah blah blah. I kind of felt like that I was doing that at the beginning. It's like, oh yeah, we got this Spearings guy coming in. He's got all this international experience, and he's a great attacking player, and but you don't get to see these players as what they're talked about until they're on the field. I thought Gilavogui was going to have 3 goals by now,
Yeah.
but he is this calming presence, never hardly loses the ball in the middle of the field, in the dangerous parts of the middle of the field, and making these pinpoint passes, services to his teammates that are going to be goal scoring opportunities throughout the rest of the season. Spearings is not just the goal scorer all the RSL fans thinks that he's going to be now after he stunned everyone in Atlanta. I mean, he says it himself. I still don't think he's going to be the goal scorer, but I think he might be kind of a hard-nosed midfielder that wins balls over and over and over again
Yeah, for sure.
in the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
So, are we overhyping? I think at the beginning, I did. In the beginning of the season, I did.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I feel the same, especially with like you were saying, Gila. But yeah, no, I mean, but even with overhyping them, I think, I mean, like you were saying, just the other things that they have been able to bring, that maybe we didn't see. They're proving their points in other ways, you know.
For sure, yeah. And I think that's how, you know, rumors and bios and all this stuff. I think that's how, you get their name out and you kind of get an idea who they are, but you don't know the player until they get on the pitch and start helping the team.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about who's been the most valuable versus just the most flashy.
Okay,
Um, I think maybe I'll go first on this.
go ahead. Yeah.
um, to me, I think the most valuable has been Caliscan. We've talked about him a lot, and I do think that he's overlooked quite a bit. I feel that he's part of almost every goal scoring opportunity we come across. Maybe not every single one, but a good majority of them. And so yeah, I think that the shoes he's been feeling and what he's been able to do this season, I feel that he's been our most valuable player.
Yeah.
Most flashy, um, even though I think he maybe has enough to be flashy, but I think his Arcani, just because of the brute strength that he's been able to use to get through these, well, at least the one goal to get through the defense and pound that ball in. I'm not saying that he's trying to be flashy, but I think he's my most flashy player.
No, he certainly does have a flair about him. I mean, he's another one that he's hard to push off the ball, and he doesn't lose the ball very much.
Mm-hmm.
I think mine, like, if we're going most valuable versus most flashy, I'm gonna go Justin Glad and, oh my word, Engel.
Okay.
They're not the most flashy players, but they are they've been very valuable doing all the dirty work for the team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how many times they've dug balls out of places where they might not, they or should not be digging balls out, but they certainly do the dirty work for the team. I think another player that is both, I think Gozo.
Yeah.
I think with what he's done in his career and what he has had to change to from last year to this year, I think he's most valuable and most flashy because boy, when he's on the ball, although that, he has lost the ball, I don't know if it's the most on the team, but he's had the ball the most on his feet. And he's lightning in a bottle because if you don't touch that ball when he's moving it, you are going to be toasted.
Yep.
And he's flashy when he does it too.
Yes, he is.
He's fun to watch.
Yep. Let's talk about this depth chart a little bit. Where do you think RSL is actually thin, not just on paper, but in reality?
Well, we haven't really seen all of the strikers yet.
Nope.
I would maybe start there. We're certainly not thin on paper or in reality in the midfield, and that's been proven in the last 5 games. That's been proven, and we've played a lot of players in that midfield.
Yep.
And maybe the defense, because there's the Arias and Henry we still haven't seen play.
That's true.
And I'm just waiting for those guys to get healthy and be seen and see what they got, because if they're real, which I think they are, because there's nothing but good been talked about with Arias coming from, is it the Mexican League, right?
Yeah.
Everything that's been said about him, he's a stud.
Yeah.
And Henry, we've gotten to seen a little bit.
Yeah.
He's just been kind of plagued with injuries so far in his career here, but no, I would go front and back ends because we haven't seen everybody yet.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because I was gonna actually probably say the defense, but I did forget that there are some players we have not seen there either. So it's hard to say. I mean, because it's another thing we've talked about almost every episode, but we are very deep, and like I said, I think it's the deepest I've ever seen this team. So, but it's a very good thing. So if there was to be one starter, this is going to be a hard question, but if there was to be one starter that goes down during this summer stretch where everything falls apart, who would that be?
I don't think it's a hard question at all.
No?
I think Diego Luna. I mean,
Okay.
we've played well without him, but when we get into matches and when he gets match fit, we get into big time matches, we're going to need a player like him. A player like him, like, to be able to lean on and expect more than others can give.
Okay.
I think he's the star.
Yeah.
He's the star of this league. He's proved he's earned it, and he's proved it over and over again. And if all these players can surround him and be tools, for lack of a better word, if you will, for him to use, I think if he goes down again, I think it will be tough, because he obviously has something more than a lot of the average players in the MLS.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I can agree with that. I mean, I guess the only other person I think could hurt us if they went down would be Cabral.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that him also last night when when this question could possibly arise.
Yeah.
Because the other two are untested. We haven't. Well, I can't remember who the second string guy is, but he's proven himself in the MLS,
Right.
but we haven't seen him, and who knows what the third guy is.
Yeah, I think it would be, and like you said, they haven't really been tested with us yet. And Cabral, every game last year, we had him, so it would be it. I think that would be another one that would hurt us. So, yeah. Speaking of injuries and things falling apart, Mike, let's talk about the World Cup.
Well, with the injuries, and when you say that, first thing that comes to mind is Diego Luna going to make the team? Is he going to make the squad because of his untimely dumb injury?
I don't think so.
Don't you?
I don't think so. I want him to be on the team, but I have this feeling that he's going to be left out, and maybe the only thing that would sway it differently is just how the U.S. team performed the last two games this weekend. And maybe the coach just wanting, he knows what Diego can bring, but man, it's just, I think it's going to be tough to see him on the team this World Cup. I want him to be there, but I don't know.
Well, if Pochettino knows what Diego Luna brings, why not put him on the squad just in case? Why not? The thing that is so infuriating to me about this U.S. men's national team is where the hell is Tyler Adams?
Right. And
I mean,
not even that. Where is this whole pride with wearing your crest, your country's crest? I don't know if I've seen. I like this last game. I just don't feel like these guys are even playing for it.
well, the last game they were, but they don't have the right group of guys out there. There's some guys out there that are the right guys, but most of them I don't think are.
They acted
This
like they
Tessman,
who?
this Tessman,
Uh-huh.
I think he plays in the MLS, but there are probably 4 guys on Real's midfield that could outplay him, in my opinion. He's a big lumbering guy. I mean, he's slow. There's no way he's going to keep up with. Well, obviously, there's no way in the world he's going to keep up with Portugal's midfield, and Portugal's midfield is, in my opinion, probably the best midfield in the World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy.
It is, and it's frustrating because, like, I don't know. I've been talking to a few people, like at work and even some of my kids, and it's some of them don't even think we'll get out of the group. I mean,
Well,
just because of how we played.
Yeah, the way they're playing right now, they're not going to.
Like some of them felt like they have never played with each other before.
Well, I don't think they have.
Well,
I mean, at least it hasn't been for a while.
but still, like, I don't know, that second goal in the Portugal game, and I know we're kind of getting a little bit out, but there was just no one around that guy at all, and it was a set piece.
Yeah, well, the thing of it is the guy trapped it. It bounced, and it bounced up chest high. That's enough time for a guy to get back out and and front the ball to have no shot. Thing of it is they play like cowards. They are so afraid to being scored on that they're packing that 6-yard box.
Yeah.
Or from the penalty spot back to the end line. I don't understand why. It just is amazing me, and I kind of feel for Pochettino because I don't necessarily think that he's teaching that.
No.
The U.S. I think the U.S. Soccer Federation is, let's be honest, soccer across the entire world is a pretty corrupt business. But I think the USSF is probably the most corrupt because and stupid. The US does everything with this sport backwards. It's the guys with the most money, or currently right now at this level making the most money, are going to play. And that's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not the best players. They're not the best players in America.
You know, it's just crazy because I mean, and you look at even just in the MLS level, and you look at RSL, and you look at the team that we started with, and a lot of people were like, "We got all this youth, we got this and that," but it's not even about the youth. It's not about the skill really. It's about the drive of these players, and I just don't feel like some of these guys have the drive to play for the country. They're
Yeah.
more worried about their clubs and making their money than they're worried about doing this for the country.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever listened to the podcasts that Tim Howard and Lennon Donovan have,
Mm-hmm.
but Donovan was talking about when he played, and they didn't have great teams then either, but they played with pride. And he was talking about, man, it didn't matter who we played. We could be playing Brazil, and if we come out losing 2-1, everybody thinks that, oh yeah, that's a pretty formidable result.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't want to go out and be in public. He wouldn't want to go out in front of people because we lost the game.
Yeah.
The United States national team lost to Brazil. I'm embarrassed about it. He's talking about all these players after the Portugal and after the who was it? The Netherlands? Belgium. After those matches, half of those guys were out, getting lunch or dinner and just hanging out, just like nothing happened. It's like,
yeah,
we've got to do better than that. They've got to be more serious about what's going on, because there's a lot of people that are excited about this team, and I think we could be, but I just don't know if the players are taking it the same.
that, and I remember, the World Cup in 1994 when it was here, and I just remember it just being a different feeling, and soccer grew so much just for that World Cup being here, and it was just because of the pride and everything that everyone had. Like I said, it was just a different feeling, and I just don't feel like some of these players have it.
Yeah, it's
But
disappointing.
yeah, it kind of is. All right, well, back to our club and country. Do you think international call-ups would help the club's reputation?
Yes and no. I mean, the way they're playing, it's like, oh, big whoop-de-doo. But I think it's it's fun because we've got Diego Luna. I think when it all comes to the bottom line, I think he'll get called up.
I hope so.
I hope so too. We've got Kobe Henry, who is most likely going to be called up for Trinidad and Tobago, but I don't know if they're in there. But he's been called up to play for his national team. Xavier Gozo, for the U20 U.S. national team. Marcus Zambrano, same thing for the U20. So there's a lot of there's a few RSL players that are being called up, and I think it makes it more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it helps the reputation a little bit. I think maybe around the league, or maybe around the United States men's national team, maybe a little more reputation from the representation from these MLS clubs.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if it necessarily helps the club's reputation other than from the US national team's standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. And I don't know. I just really hope that Luna gets a shot.
Yeah,
I mean, I
it would.
think you talk about uh, playing with pride and passion, and he does that for club and country. I mean, I just keep going back to the game. Can't remember who we were playing, but he broke his nose, and he told the coach that he wanted to stay in because it was early. He broke his nose pretty early,
Mm-hmm.
and he ended up with what an assist.
Yeah,
And I mean, I don't know. That's the kind of that's the kind of stuff you want to see from these players, though. Just that passion to play for your country, and I don't know.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of a
Even
lost art.
yeah.
Well, Kevin, let's move on. Got some fun facts real quick, and then we'll finish up. But do you remember the 2009 MLS Cup Miracle?
I do remember a little bit of it.
Let's give you a little bit of a backdrop. RSL enters the playoffs in 2009 with a record of 11 wins, 12 losses, 7 draws. Kevin, that's a losing record if I'm looking at it right.
Yeah.
The only team in MLS history to make the playoffs with a losing record. RSL did it back in 2009. They made it to the final that season, the championship, the cup final against the David Beckham led LA Galaxy. And RSL upset the LA Galaxy in a 1-1 draw and 5-4 on penalty shots to earn their first star on their crest.
Yeah.
I'm calling it the greatest underdog story in MLS history.
Oh
Would you
yeah.
agree?
Oh yeah. It's got to be.
I mean, do you think any other team with a losing record will even make the playoffs, let alone the MLS Cup again?
Well, I'm not gonna say never because, like we've said before, soccer's a crazy
Mm-hmm.
sport. But I, it's gonna be a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah. I
it
don't
will
see it
too.
happening too many times. And like I says, it won't happen for a while if it does.
Does it make this story even that much more legendary that David Beckham leading the LA Galaxy?
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, he's a legend of the sport, and I mean, I think it brings nerves. It brings all sorts of things for people playing against him. So, yeah, I do think it makes it more legendary.
Could do you think that do you think that season, that cup final, that championship that they won set unrealistic expectations for the club long term?
Um, I I think for the short term it did. I think I mean, you win something like that, even having a losing record, and I think you expect to to keep on doing maybe not the same thing, but you're going to get better and better. And I think I think fans expected more after that, but
Yeah, I'm gonna say no
okay.
because because later on they faced Sporting Kansas City in another final. They made it back to the MLS Cup final,
Uh-huh.
and this club this year is serious about winning.
Oh
Not
yeah.
just what they say at the post game show, interviews with Pablo and all this stuff. The administration, the ownership of this club, they were serious about what they put together this year. So, yeah, I don't know, just kind of a fun little jaunt back into history.
Yeah.
Little fun story, little underdog story that for all you underdogs that think, maybe I can do that. And it doesn't have to be soccer. It can be anything.
Yeah.
But Kevin, that's it for this episode 8 of Into the Riot. We talked about club moves, key injuries, rising stars, and even a look ahead to the World Cup. Real Salt Lake story is always full of questions, Kevin, debates, and surprises. This season, it's no different.
No, it's not. So keep listening to us. Follow the show, share it with your fellow fans, and stay ready for what's next, including that showdown with Messi and Inter Miami. Until next time, stay loud, stay loyal, and stay into the riot.
Vamos Real.